Can you imagine an apple that does not turn brown after being cut open or sliced? Well, the Arctic apple is the first apple to be approved as genetically modified in the United States. GMO, or genetically modified organism, is a process where the genes from the DNA of one species are extracted and then artificially forced into the genes of an unrelated animal or plant. The foreign genes can come from bacteria, viruses, insects, animals, and even humans. One major way that researchers change the DNA of an organism is by gene guns. The gene gun is a device that injects cells with genetic information using a heavy metal or gold bullet coated with DNA. GMO is important because it affects agriculture, our food, and the economy. Also, GMOs everywhere. It's in 95% of sugar beets, oh, so good. Sweet. It's in 88% of corn and 94% of soybeans in America. These genetically modified crops are either herbicide resistant or insect resistant. Wheat growth forces crops to compete for nutrients and sunlight. Several crops have been genetically modified to be herbicide resistant. That means herbicides do not kill the crops, but only kill the weeds. These crops contain genes that allow them to break down the active ingredient in herbicide, causing it to be harmless. Each year, insects destroy about 25% of food crops worldwide. Researchers have used genetic engineering to take the bacterial genes needed to produce Bt toxins to destroy the gut of bacteria and kill various herbivorous insects. GMO increases agriculture because it requires less land, water, and pesticides. This lowers the price of food and can help third world countries going through hunger. A strain of rice was developed that contains enough vitamin A to keep children healthier. Ooh, look what I found. Protein. This is beneficial because 500,000 children go blind every year because of vitamin A deficiency. One negative is that we are interrupting the natural way of development. Additionally, changing the DNA can cause possible extinction to that organism. By 2050, the global population is expected to rise to 9 billion. And we will need 70% more agricultural production. To summarize this very fascinating topic, we have learned that GMO is everywhere and affects everyone. Also, GMO has many pros and cons, and researchers need to continue conducting experiments to see how GMO will affect our future. Did you know tomatoes have been developed that resist freezing with an anti-freeze gene that comes from the winter flounder, a cold water fish? This is an example of an anti-freeze tomato. You see? It's not frozen. Did you know that geneticists have bred GMO pigs and plants that glow in the dark because of the bioluminescence gene that comes from jellyfish? Wow. Did you know that a new kind of Atlantic salmon was engineered to have higher levels of growth hormones by using the genes from the Pacific salmon and ocean pout?